Folks, welcome back to part two NPR News That Matters. Rob Morris, along with Wayne Christopher, to talk to us about House Bill 67 and what it entails, what it's about, and what do you think about House Bill 67, Wayne?
Yeah, we need to kill that bill.
Kill the bill.
Yeah, kill it. It's doing nothing but making it more difficult for citizens to provide oversight of their government and how they're handling the voter rolls. Right now, they're charging $38,000 for a set of voter rolls.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's too high for most citizens to pay for.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Especially when some states, a couple of states, give it to you for free or just a little money.
I believe Ohio and Florida, you can get it for free. And there's probably some others that it's a minimal fee.
Well, is it up to the governor of each state?
In Alabama, the law right now says that the Secretary of State can charge a reasonable fee. That's all it says. There's no limit on it. But HB 67 puts a cap on that at $1,000, which up front, going from $38,000 to $1,000 makes it sound, like a good thing. But there's two things about that you really don't want. For one, it normalizes a fee. The set fee. And $1,000 is still way too high for most citizens to get to go out and take out of their pocket and go do that just so they can oversee what the government's doing with their voter rolls. $1,000.
It ain't chump change.
Yeah, especially when you understand from what Dr. Frank has discovered. In order to really analyze the voter rolls properly, you need multiple copies of it at various intervals. And so be able to see where names are being inserted, then used to vote, and then taken back out of the voter rolls. So you can't just buy one set, you have to buy multiple copies. So that's still way too high. Even if it was one set, it's still too high. And then the fact that it's normalizing an amount in there, that needs to go away too. So this bill is not really doing anything to help that part of the situation. The bill also has a list of information or data fields that are no longer going to be available for dissemination when they hand out these voter rolls. Two of those, the voter ID and the full birth date of an individual, those two bits of information have been used around the country quite a bit to find voter fraud. So why are you taking that out of it? What it's doing is inhibiting citizens' oversight. So again, that kind of thing, you don't need to be taking away information. In fact, some states have much more, many more data fields that are available to them that they're handing out. Fields that Alabama doesn't provide. So if you want to help the situation, you would add fields to it, not take them away.
That makes sense.
But the bottom line on it is, the problem really isn't that what they're doing, in that they're making it harder for us to provide oversight. It's that they can do that, because what has happened over time, our voter rolls at one time were controlled by the local registry, the local registrar. But now they're centrally controlled by the Secretary of State. So now the legislature can make laws that would inhibit oversight.
Why would they do that? To cheat?
Well, it could be that they know that information is being used to discover what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. Maybe they just don't know any better.
And we won't find out unless we can get the voter rolls.
Yeah, but certainly, what has happened with the voter rolls being centrally controlled, that means they can be exploited a lot easier than if they were still being controlled in each county. A good example of that: have you ever gone traveling and you take some of your money out of your wallet and hide it in your sock or in your luggage somewhere?
Sure.
Somewhere separate from your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
The point of doing that is to have it divided out so that you don't lose all your money if something happens to your wallet.
Okay.
Same thing here. You know, as long as you had the voter rolls distributed around to different counties, they were separated. So you would have to infiltrate every county's voter rolls to accomplish the same thing that you can now do by exploiting the centralized database, you know, the database that the Secretary of State has. So all you have to do is go to one location, get in there and compromise the voter roll, and you can accomplish quite a bit.
All right, let me ask you something real quick. If that's the case, the election's coming up for governor and lieutenant governor soon. Should somebody ask some of these candidates running for Secretary of State about House Bill 67, about the voter rolls, if they can bring the price down so the normal everyday citizen of Alabama can afford to get it if they want to know?
Yeah, I mean, it ought to be brought up.
It should be brought up.
In all these forums and as you interview candidates, you know, it ought to be talked about.
Be sure to ask if you are around any of these candidates during their candidacy, speaking at these rallies. If you get a chance to talk to them, ask them that very thing, because that's very important. $1,000 is a lot of money for anyone just to come up with out of their pocket just to get the voter rolls, see what's going on. And I mean, we're doing all this for free.
Yeah.
What we're doing, trying to get election integrity back in our voting.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a good idea, I think.
Yeah, ask them if they support HB 67, and you know, look at that bill, look and see what it's doing. There's nothing good that's accomplished from HB 67. It's already a bad situation, and it's just making it worse.
Well, we'll have a list here, folks, of all the representatives in Alabama from different counties and districts who have supported that. And at the bottom, guess what? In Mobile County, Representative Margie Wilcox in District 104 voted for this, and also Representative Chip Brown from District 105 voted for it. So you might want to give them a call and tell them that you don't appreciate it. And just so you know, if they're running again, primary them, vote them out, get rid of them. We don't need anybody that's trying to suppress our voter integrity here in the state of Alabama.
Amen. Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to add to all that?
No, that the key solution to all of this, you know, the voter rolls and the problems with the machines, the voting machines.
Mm-hmm.
The solution is decentralization in both cases.
You know, you talked about that. Explain what that's about.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we've got centrally controlled voter rolls now, so that's dangerous, and now we know that they're being exploited, so it's more than dangerous, it's actually happening. And the fact that the machines, because they can be centrally controlled, they're not usable. So we cannot have centrally controlled elections like this. The voter rolls and the vote counting process are both being centrally controlled. And so we've got to correct this.
We need a Mobile County control for our voting, right?
Yes. Elections should be controlled locally.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they always were for many, many years until the federal government's laws with NVRA and HAVA. Those laws started pushing us towards centrally controlled elections at the state level, and we need to return to what we had prior to that.
I agree. I'm sure you will too. Well, folks, be sure to join us this Saturday, because we need everybody's help. We already got one group for election integrity here in Mobile, and we could use some more help. There's a lot of ground to cover in Mobile County and the surrounding counties as well, right?
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
There is a group here, and they will be needing help. So if you want to help with election integrity, get in touch, and we'll, there's going to be some door knocking eventually, and there's a lot of research that needs to be done. There's lots of things you can do. So, if you want to help with it, just give us a call.
Yeah, everybody's got different talents, and your talent could be needed for this effort. All right, don't forget, join us this Saturday at 10:30. Hill Springs Baptist Church at 335 Eliza Jordan Road. That's 10:30, folks. Be sure to come out and meet Dr. Frank. You'll be impressed with the man. I know I am. Until then, I'm Rob Morris from NPR News. Have a great day, everyone. Because I know we are, aren't we?
We have so far.
We're working on it.